What's going on, YouTube? Ledger here once again. This time at you again with some more, well, Tower of Fantasy actually. Usually I'm here for Genshin, but this time I'm here for Tower of Fantasy. And I gotta say, you know, I made a video recently, Genshin Killers, and I downplayed Tower of Fantasy. I really did. And I came here to say, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I could just never imagine the severity of the situation.
I heavily underestimated this game because this game is much better than I gave it credit for. Granted, I don't think it's gonna kill Genshin now. I don't.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal.
But I do think that it has much more potential than I initially noticed. And I think this game is gonna do much more better on global than it initially did when it came out on CN. And man, oh man, I'm here to talk about it, right? I was gonna make a video before talking about Genshin versus Tower of Fantasy and just kind of compare the two between everything. But I kind of decided to scrap that idea. One, because I've been busy and I'm kind of late to the party and people have made all kinds of videos about it and so on and so forth. And two, I kind of just changed my mind when it comes to that. When it comes to all that there, I just want to talk about Tower of Fantasy itself and not completely compare it to Genshin. I mean, I will compare it to Genshin to start off with a little bit, but for the most part, I'm just gonna focus on Tower of Fantasy. And also too, just to be frank, I'm quite upset right now because I recorded the entire video, 16 minutes of me talking about the things I love about Tower of Fantasy and what's great about it, and the mic wasn't working the entire time. So, I'm just gonna be repeating everything I just said, but that's just a small glimpse into the life of a content creator, you know, so, but yeah. I sound happy recording this, but I'm very pissed off right now, so, but let's just get into it, all right? Let's just get the comparison between Genshin and Tower of Fantasy right off the bat, right? Or let's just talk about Genshin versus Tower of Fantasy right away, right? Now, a lot of people are comparing Genshin to Tower of Fantasy, and some of these comparisons aren't too fair because, of course, like it's been said before, Tower of Fantasy is an MMO game and Genshin is a single player game, right? But they are very similar and to the point where they're both gacha and they're both anime games, right? Anime inspired. So they do have similar aesthetics and they're going to attract similar crowds. With that being said, they are going to compete with each other whether they're in different genres or not, right? Because the people who would play Genshin would play Tower of Fantasy. The Genshin community was targeted when it came to promotion for the game also. And since they're both gacha, when it comes time to summon and it comes down to which game you're gonna spend money on, well, it may be two different games, two different genres, but you still got one wallet, all right? So if you're spending in Tower of Fantasy, that means that Genshin spending is gonna go down, right? And Genshin will see this. That is why there is going to be a direct competition between the two. And I think that's a good thing, right? That is a great thing because if Genshin starts to feel the heat, if Hoyoverse starts to feel that heat coming on, and they start noticing their banner sales are going down because Tower of Fantasy is taking some of their community, now Genshin has to answer back and try and come up with something that's going to try and get that community back, right? And a lot of the people that they're losing to this game are the veteran players, the people who want that endgame content, they want that battle content, and Tower of Fantasy is providing that to them. So that's the thing when it comes to that. That's why I think this competition is good. Obviously, there is toxic parts of the competition between the two, people going and just trashing one game and giving people a hard time and so on and so forth and whatever, you know. And honestly, no matter what, a side is in the right or another side is in the wrong, doesn't matter. People on both sides are going to be ignorant, you know. That's how it is, that's how it works, you know. And it is important to reprimand those people, it is important to condemn those people. But at the end of the day, it does exist and we gotta acknowledge that. But it doesn't mean that competition itself is bad, right? So that's the thing. That is one thing that that's one thing I want to get out the way when it comes to this whole Genshin versus Tower Fantasy thing. But now let's just get into Tower Fantasy itself and why I think I heavily underestimated this game, right? So the thing about Tower Fantasy, right off the bat, first thing I noticed with playing this game the first day is the fact that it is very, very generous, right? Now, I've been playing this game since launch. This is the day it launched, and about 2 weeks in now, right? And yesterday and today, I finally had time to really sit down and play this game, and like to a large extent. And between that time, yesterday and today, I was able to get about 130. Wait, did I do that math right? Yep, 130 regular wishes, right? When I say regular wishes, they're black nucleus wishes. If you're familiar with the game, you know which banner that is. Where there's no guarantee, there's no pity, right? I was able to get 130 wishes on that banner, and then I was able to get 50 wishes on the gold banner, right? Which is essentially the standard banner, right? Where there is a pity. Now I was able to get 2 5 stars by doing that, right? So that's amazing. That is amazing to be able to do in a weekend, right? And that heavily propelled my account. I already had 5 stars. I've already been playing and so on and so forth. So the fact that I've had 2 weeks of play in this game and I was able to still get that much out, and I'm sure I have much more left because I'm nowhere near close to 100% in all areas. So that's the thing. So like there's so much wishes, there's so much stuff to do in this game, and that's one thing that makes the exploration of the game itself so interesting, because there's so much in the world that's able to give to you that you can use directly, right? Now, that's the thing. That's why I feel like exploration in this game is so fun, because you're just walking around. There's a wish here, there's a wish in front of you, there's a wish in back of you, there's a wish up ahead, and you're just like a kid in the candy store running around trying to get all these wishes. And it just feels better because, like, since it's a gacha game, these wishes, they have monetary value in a sense in your brain. So that's the thing, right? It makes you feel so good finding all of these things in the world, right? And also too, after you get these wishes, right? You know, one problem I had with Genshin is that, here goes a Genshin comparison again, but one thing I had with Genshin is that when I would get wishes, when I would save up all this money and I would summon these units, right? Like in Genshin, I have a C6 Fu Tao because that's my favorite character. I got that character, got him with artifacts, got her powered up, good to go. And she came in and she just steamrolled the abyss with a team, without a team. It was a joke, right? It was a joke. Any content that was thrown my way was a joke, and there wasn't a lot of content being thrown my way, right? But with Tower of Fantasy, right? No matter how powerful you get your units, there is going to be content that is still capable of challenging you, right? They have the Bygone Phantasm, which is essentially Abyss if you're a Genshin player, and you just go deeper and deeper, and eventually you will hit a wall where you're like, I need more power, I need more damage. But the fact that you're able to progress even further still gives you that rewarding sense that, like, yeah, all this progress that I made, all these things that I did, whether it's the money I've spent or the wishes that I found, they all have value. They all actually made me stronger, and I'm able to actually use that strength to the fullest, right? And that's the thing. There's so much different things. There's that Abyss style thing, but it's not the only thing. There's other co-op events, which I'll get into more into co-op a little bit. There's other solo things that you can do. It just makes the game so much more interesting. It really just kind of scratches that itch to be able to use your characters that you put so much work into building to their full potential, right? I love it. You love to see it. I can't get enough of it there. So that's another thing. And the combat itself is actually really good. The combat itself is that's one of the main things that I underestimate about the game, is the combat itself. The combat is very intuitive, where you cycle through 3 different weapons. You can change which weapon you use, so on and so forth. And that allows you different play styles and so on and so forth. And the weapons, they have different abilities, whether some weapons are more supportive, some weapons are more damage oriented, and some weapons focus on breaking shields and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's the thing. So you can make different synergies, but it's still very flexible in how you can build things. And then there's different challenges that incentivize you to use certain types of weapons. So that's the thing too. So I heavily undermix the combat in the game. It's really good. I love it, and I love the choice of different weapons, different play styles. Just makes things very, very interesting. So you love to see it. You love to see it, right? But that's another thing too, right? But I mentioned co-op, right? Now, the thing is, right, in this game, right, and normally in gacha games, people tend to look at whales, people who spend on the game, people who are veterans who've achieved a lot of strength, they tend to look at them with some type of disdain, so on and so forth. But because of this, such as a great co-op experience in this game, whales are helpful now, right? It feels good to be a whale, and when you meet a whale, it still feels good for them to be around because they can help you, right? They can actually help you, and that's the thing. It creates more of a positive community when it comes to that, right? So this game has great co-op potential. Now, also what I mean by that, one of my favorite experiences in gaming was doing raids in Destiny when I used to play Destiny back in 2016, right? Now, I used to love joining my friends, making a team, going and doing strikes, doing raids, exploring the world together. And since this right here, since Tower Fantasy is an MMO, right? It gives somewhat of that feeling once again. Granted, I joined a server where I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have anybody in this server. I didn't think it through when I chose which server to do. I'm in Tempest and nobody's in Tempest, so whatever. But that's the thing too, right? But the fact of the matter is, there is that option, right? I can get together with friends if I want to, explore the world, go fight world bosses, go into different, what would be like strikes in Destiny, doing different missions and so on and so forth. There's no raids yet, but this game has a perfect setup to make raids, right? I mean, I'd say gives the game some time, let people be able to find teams, find people, so on and so forth, and then bring the raids in. But they can't do that. This game is capable of doing that. It has all the pieces in place. So that's the thing. It has this great co-op experience. It helps nurture a more positive community in terms of that, and just creates just fun, everlasting content and gameplay for the people playing the game. So that's the thing, right? So that co-op experience is quite the good one right there. You love to see it, right? Now another thing too is that this company, right? They started off kind of on a bad foot, right? When it came to, they were copying different things with, like, they copied Honkai assets, they copied storyboards from one project, they're copying like ideas and characters from Genshin and so on and so forth. They seem to start off on a bad foot, and I thought that was kind of going to be kind of the nail in the coffin for this game. But since it started, this company has shown some positive things in terms of how they treat their community. Because recently there's been some problems with people hacking the game, creating problems, so on and so forth. And now, immediately they addressed it. Immediately they took action. They said, hey, we just did this in order to take care of this problem. And now we plan on doing this in the future to help try and minimize that problem. And we're gonna keep working to try and solve this issue. They immediately let the community know. They immediately released patches. They immediately did things to try and make the game good and communicate it directly to the fan base. Now, you'd love to see that kind of thing. That's a very good sign. It's a very good first impression when starting a game, because now I know when things start to look bad in the game, there's people are complaining about certain things, I can expect this company to reach out and say something about it, so I know what to expect of the game, right? It's a great feeling just to be communicated with and know what's coming in the game, right? You know, so that's the thing. That's another good sign. That's the one thing that I did like about Tower Face that I heavily underestimated, because I thought this company was just going to be bad all around and shady. So you'll love to see that, right? And also, another thing that I didn't put into account is the fact that this piece actually is not intentional. The company did not do this on purpose, but it is an advantage to us as the fan base, and that is the fact that we have this unintentional roadmap for the game, right? So what do I mean by that? So right now, for a limited character, we have Nemesis in the game, right? Nemesis. We already know in the future that Nemesis is a top tier character. We know that Nemesis is a meta character, and with the content coming in the future of the game, we know that Nemesis is going to stand strong and stand true. We also know what other characters are coming and what other characters are going to be meta. We know if we like their play style. We know so whether we're going for meta or we're going for enjoyment, we know what to expect, right? Because this was already released in China. So all we have to do is look, we don't have to look at leaks anymore. We have to just look and see what's going on in China, and we get a general idea of what to expect in the future, right? Granted, everything isn't going to be one-to-one, but it still gives us a good idea, right? People say, hey, I want this character, Claudia. Hey, me personally, I want this character called Saki, who is, she's greatness, I must say. That is right up my alley, and I need that. Now I know I can save for that character. Now I know now I know what to look forward to, right? And I've played other gacha games before, and I'm actually used to that, where I used to play Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and I always looked at what Japan was going, because they were always quite some time ahead, and I always looked at what they had, so I was able to plan ahead and see, because that helped me save a lot of money, because I'm like, all right, I know I'm not going to get this character, because I know right here this character's going to get powered up by this character, and so on and so forth. I was able to plan that out, and I was able to spend very minimally on that game, right? Genshin is honestly the only game I truly wailed in. So that's the thing with that, right? And even little things too, like for example in the game, there's these treasure chests where we use these blue chips to open them up. Now that we know what CN is doing in the future, we know to not use those blue chips, because in a few patches, there's going to be chests that use those same blue chips that release a certain currency. And that currency we can use to get wishes. So if we save up those blue chips now, then we're going to be able to use them for wishes later. And now we know that because of the unintentional roadmap that we have with the game. And that's great, honestly. That's invaluable. That's invaluable information, and that's gonna help you save. That's gonna help you have a better experience playing the game, because you know what's coming, you know what to plan for, and so on and so forth. All right. So that's the thing. All right. You love to see these type of things, but these are just the many reasons why I feel that I heavily underestimated this game. What do you guys think? Comment your thoughts down below. Did you also underestimate Tower Fantasy? Did the things that I say in this video, did it help you get an idea of what to expect with it? You know, was any of this helpful? Are you guys playing Tower Fantasy? What do you guys think? You know, and if you like the content that I did right here, like the video, I do plan on. I'm definitely going to be playing more Tower Fantasy, and I'm definitely going to be making more content on Tower Fantasy. And I primarily make Genshin content, and that is going to continue, because best believe when Sumeru comes out, I'm going to be playing it. I already took the day off. In order to be able to play Sumeru that day. So best believe content is coming out with that. So don't think that, oh, he made a Tower Fantasy video, he's not going. No. Cut that out. I'm gonna be playing both of these games, right? That's the thing, right? So like the video if you like the content, because more of it is coming, and subscribe if you want more content like this. That definitely helps out the channel, lets me know I'm doing the right things. So let me know. All right, and with that, I'll end the video there. Legend out.